gives birth to its kittens. A frog lays eggs in water. Two earthworms mate and exchange sperms. And a bee that brings the pollens collected from the stamen of a buttercup to the pistil of another buttercup. Diverse scenes of the same biological process, reproduction. Hello there, grade 5 science thinkers! I am Teacher Irish. What a great day to start today's episode here at Aral TV, where learning science is fun and easy. Reproduction is a biological process by which new individuals are produced by parents. This process ensures the continuation of similar kinds of individuals generation after generation. Reproduction starts with the fusion of a sperm and an egg in a process called fertilization. This can occur either inside or outside the female body. Do you know the modes of reproduction among different types of animal species? Science thinkers, for today's episode, you are expected to describe the modes of reproduction in animals. Prepare your pen, paper, and self-learning module. Make sure everything is ready. Let's begin! You have already learned from the previous lesson the reproductive organs that produce sex cells or gametes. These are ovaries in the females that produce egg cells and testicles in the males that produce sperm cells. Both sex cells are needed for fertilization. Before we continue with our discussion, let's have first a game. This game is called Power Psi Terms. All you need to do is to complete the letters of the terms being described in the following statements. Ready thinking? Here is number 1. Specialized sex cells, sperm and egg produced by each parent for reproduction. The term has 6 letters that starts with letter G and ends with letter E. What is your answer? If your answer is gamete, you are correct. Number 2. The process by which male and female gametes are fused together, initiating the development of a new organism. It has 13 letters that starts with letter F and ends with letter N. What is the term? You got it right. It's fertilization. Number 3. Fertilized egg cell that results from the union of a female gamete with a male gamete. It has 6 letters that starts with letter Z and ends with letter E. Did you get it right? Good job! The answer is zygote. Number 4. A mode of reproduction where 2 different individuals contribute their chromosomes to create a new individual, which will be similar to both parents but will never be genetically identical to either one. It has 6 letters that starts with letter S and ends with letter L. What is your answer? If you answered sexual, you are correct. Number 5. A mode of reproduction where a single organism or cell makes a copy of itself and the genes of the original and its copy will be the same. It has 8 letters that starts with letter A and ends with letter L. What is the term? Very good. It's asexual. Science thinkers, how did you find the activity? For those who did well, you're amazing. You deserve a round of applause. For those who did not, keep your ears and eyes steady, mind alert and ready. Let's continue. There are 2 modes by which animals reproduce: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. How do you define sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction is the fusion of sperm cell and egg cell in a process called fertilization, which results in a genetically different offsprings. How about asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction is a mode of reproduction in which a new offspring is produced by a single parent. The new individuals produced are genetically and physically identical to each other. Science thinkers, here is your next task. Just follow the directions I'm going to give. Do this on a piece of paper. Draw a Venn diagram. Write asexual reproduction on the left circle, sexual reproduction on the right, and the similarities on the overlap. Using the words listed below, complete the Venn diagram to illustrate the similarities and differences of sexual and asexual reproduction. You have 20 seconds to finish this task. Your timer starts now. Let us check your answers. Sexual reproduction involves 2 parents, while in asexual reproduction, there is only 1 parent. Sexual reproduction requires gametes and fertilization, while in asexual reproduction, fertilization is not required. In sexual reproduction, there is genetic variation in offspring, while in asexual reproduction, offspring is genetically identical to parent. How are you doing so far? Were you able to complete the Venn diagram? For those who said yes, very good. Keep up the good work. For those who said no, make sure to finish the task and do better in the next activities. Now, you already know the 2 modes of reproduction. This time, let us learn more about these modes of reproduction among different types of animal species. In sexual reproduction, new organisms are created by combining the genetic informations from 2 individuals of different sexes. The genetic information is carried on chromosomes within the nucleus of specialized sex cells called gametes. During sexual reproduction, the 2 gametes, sperm cell in males and egg cell in females, join together in a fusion process known as fertilization to create a zygote. The ways of fertilization varies among animals. Some species release the egg and sperm into the environment. Some retain the egg and receive the sperm into the female body, but then expel the developing embryo covered with shell, while others retain the developing offspring throughout the gestation period. What are the two types of fertilization? Fertilization can occur either inside or outside the female body. First is internal fertilization. It usually takes place within the female body, after the male implants sperm. Did you know that there is an exceptionally rare example, such as seahorses? Seahorses give a whole new meaning to the term dot. You see, they are one of the only animal species in which the males get pregnant and give birth. Seahorse mating is quite a dazzling show. The males and females flutter their fins in a dance, often over several days. When they have chosen a mate, the female will insert her eggs into the pouch of the male, and her job is done. The male then releases his sperm into the pouch, fertilizing the eggs. The male is always the one that will carry the embryos as they grow. What are the types of animals produced through internal fertilization? Do we have the same answers? Yes, oviparous and viviparous. Viviparous animals develop from an embryo inside the body of the female, receiving nourishment from the mother's blood through a placenta and is born alive. Humans, like most mammals, are viviparous. Can you name some viviparous animals? Here are some examples: cows, horses, monkeys, cats, and dogs. Next type are oviparous animals. Oviparous animals lay eggs that later hatch to form young ones. They usually produce eggs at a particular time of the year depending on the availability of food, as they provide nutrients to the egg through the yolk sac. The eggs of oviparous animals are covered with hard or soft shells, depending on the animals. After laying the eggs, some animals sit on the eggs to keep them warm, while others bury the eggs in the sand. Here are some examples of animals that are oviparous: chickens, frogs, snakes, turtles, and ducks. Reptiles produce leathery eggs, while birds, chickens, and turtles produce eggs with high concentrations of calcium carbonate in the shell, making them hard. Alright, remember, both oviparous and viviparous animals are produced through internal fertilization. Next, what is external fertilization? External fertilization is a type of fertilization that takes place outside the female body and usually occurs in aquatic environments where both eggs and sperms are released into the water. Most external fertilization happen during the process of spawning, where one or several females release their eggs and males release their sperms in the same area at the same time. The release of these reproductive cells may be triggered by water temperature or the length of daylight. Nearly all of the fishes do spawning, as do crustaceans such as crabs and shrimp, mollusks such as oysters, squid, and echinoderms such as sea urchins and sea cucumbers. Pairs of fish that are not broadcast spawners may exhibit courtship behavior. This allows the female to select a particular male, where the egg and sperm release causes to be placed in a smaller area, enhancing the possibility of fertilization. This time, let us describe the other mode of reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction is a mode of reproduction that does not involve any kind of gamete fusion. New offsprings are produced by a single parent. Thus, the new individuals produced are genetically and physically identical to each other. And there won't be any change in the number of chromosomes either. It will inherit the same genes as the parent, except for some cases where there is a chance of rare mutation to occur. What are the types of asexual reproduction? First is binary fission. The term fission means to divide. During binary fission, the parent cell divides into two cells. The cell division patterns vary in different organisms. Some are directional, while others are non-directional. Amoeba and Euglena exhibit binary fission. It is one of the simplest and uncomplicated methods of asexual reproduction. Each daughter cell carrying a nucleus of its own that is genetically identical to the parent. The cytoplasm also divides, leading to two equal-sized daughter cells. The process repeats itself and the daughter cells grow and further divide. Second is budding. Budding is the process of producing an individual through the buds developed on the parent's body. Hydra is an organism that reproduces by budding. The bud derives nutrition and shelter from the parent organism and detaches once it is fully grown. Congratulations, science thinkers, for reaching this far. Let's check what you have learned. Answer the following questions. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. A mode of reproduction where two different individuals contribute their chromosomes to create a new individual, which will be similar to both parents but will never be genetically identical to either one. A. Fertilization. B. Fragmentation. C. Sexual reproduction. D. Asexual reproduction. The correct answer is letter C, sexual reproduction. Number 2. A mode of reproduction where a single organism or cell makes a copy of itself and the genes of the original and its copy will be the same. A. Fertilization. B. Fragmentation. C. Sexual reproduction. D. Asexual reproduction. correct answer is letter D, asexual reproduction. Number 3. The following are oviparous animals except A. Chickens, B. Frogs, C. Snakes, D. Dogs. The correct answer is letter D, dogs. Number 4. The following are viviparous animals except A. Cows, B. Cats, C. Ducks, D. Dogs. The correct answer is letter C, ducks. Number 5. It is the process of producing an individual through the buds that develop on the parent's body. A. Budding, B. Binary fission, C. Sexual fertilization, D. Fragmentation. The correct answer is letter A, budding. How many correct answers did you get? If you got 5, very good. 4 to 3, good. 2 and down, cheer up. You can study again this lesson and do better. Today, we learned the different modes of animal reproduction. I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from this learning session. Science thinkers, you can view this video through our YouTube channel. Search Aral TV, Deped Leyte. Click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to check the newest uploads. Again, I am Teacher Irish. Goodbye!